Hey miracles, welcome to Embody This, where we explore the beauty, magic, and mess of being. I'm Kate, and today we're diving into something that shapes our realities in ways that we often underestimate: the power of our words. Words are a blessing from the divine. They are blessings from God. We know the power of our breath, our life force energy, but do we understand the power of our words? Breath gives our words life force. Without breath, speech would not exist. Breath is a God-given thing, prana, life force energy. When we put our words in the vibrations of our sounds with our breath, beautiful magic can happen, or destruction. So we're going to dive into that a little bit today. Speaking with intention means aligning the breath, the spirit of the soul, with words, our creation, making language a sacred act, a God-given act. When we slow down our breath, our words become more intentional, more energy is put behind them, and more power can be cultivated from them, which in turn aligns us with our highest selves. Many ancient texts, like the Bible, describe the universe being spoken into existence. In Genesis 1:3, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. This is literal text on manifestation, ancient text on manifestation, how powerful manifestation can be and what it can create in reality in our waking world. Our words are spells. I recently read this book called The Game of Life, and it kept saying our words are spells, our words are spells. They literally shape the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we move through this world. Words shape our reality. The words we speak to ourselves become the architecture of our beliefs and our thoughts. Words are symbols that we use to build out our belief system and structure our lives. In turn, we take action based on our thought processes, on our words. And the words that we speak with others or to others can heal or harm. Words are just so powerful. So I really want to take a moment to respect and understand this power that we all hold within us. This topic means a lot to me personally because this is why I wanted to start this podcast. I wanted a place where my words would be recorded in a very powerful, impactful way and touch others and hopefully change mindsets and thought processes. If I can change a quarter of a thought process with my words, my mission and my job here has been done. So exploring the power behind words and our breath is really important to me personally. Today, I really want to explore how we can be more intentional with our words and attract and manifest our desires through the power of our words, through the frequency of our words. We can use them for tools for growth, self-transformation, connection with others, because when we shift our language, we can shift our lives. Words create worlds. They really, really do. Words literally created this podcast. I remember coming to a few friends when I was building a completely different business that had nothing to do with this podcast or Zenful No or any of the projects that I'm now working in. And again, while I was in a completely different field, I was starting to think on this idea of creating a podcast. I became obsessed with spirituality, obsessed with books, obsessed with the things I was reading and the people that I was talking to who were also rooted in this world, and really wanted a platform to speak on this. So I started bringing the podcast idea out into existence through my words. And Kayla and I would often sit in her office and we'd go through books, and she has this like cute little rug that we'd lay down in her office and go through our books and connect words and symbols and create meaning in this world that we love so much. And that's kind of how we both looked at each other, like, we need to be recording these conversations, these words, because they're being used so thoughtfully and intentionally with the text, the research that we were diving into behind our thought processes. So we started speaking the podcast into existence, and here we are today. We have a full audio team, a full editing team. We're fully sponsored by Zenful Note. Shout out Zenful Note. And it has turned this idea that originated in my head into reality. That is how powerful words can be. And I mean, I'm getting chills just thinking about how quickly things came into fruition for us and for me personally through words. In this spiritual world, we talk a lot about energy, and because energy can't necessarily be felt or seen all of the time, a lot of people question it and think of it as woo-woo, or my energy isn't here or her energy isn't there. But the truth of the matter is that everything has energy. Everything has energy, especially our words. Scientifically, words we repeatedly use create neural pathways in our brains. When we navigate through phrases or say negative phrases like I'm not good enough, we strengthen that neural circuit. And on the other hand, if we say things like, I'm amazing, I'm capable, we are able to reinforce new neural circuits. So words are super powerful within our thoughts as well. Studies in cognitive psychology suggest that around 80%, which, holy shit, of the average person's thoughts are negative, and 95% are repetitive from the previous day. That means most people are unconsciously living in this loop of negativity and self-limiting beliefs. It's so sad to think that we are wired to think this way and to feel this way, and we just kind of surrender to it. The reason why we are wired to be negative is because back in the day, we humans were ingrained with this fear that was a survival-based fear. We no longer need to worry about where our food is coming from, going out and catching fish and surviving in the Western world. So a lot of these self-limiting fear-based beliefs are coming from a place that is very, very, very primal. We have come so much farther than that point. So it's up to us to work on our thoughts and our words that we tell ourselves so that we can step into our true potential and our highest selves. We also create these repetitive thought loops, right, within our head when we are constantly thinking negatively. There's tons of research, and I've heard it before, like people overcoming disease, surviving cancer just through changing their mindset and using those practices within their own beings, changing their thought process, their language to themselves, changing their words, because that's how powerful words are. There's also societal norms that we've become addicted to, like the media, negative things on the media, and even our jobs starting from sunrise to sundown. We never get to set our circadian rhythm in the way that it should be. There's lots of environmental and societal conditioning that keeps us in these negative word loops. And again, it's up to you to pull yourself out of it and to create an awareness around your self-talk. On page 113 of the book of Shadow Work, if you haven't gotten it yet, you got to go check it out. It's so good. Kayla wrote this book and it's beautiful. She writes a quote that says, "The energy that your words carry influences your emotions and your thoughts. Your body is always listening and looking to match the frequency it's exposed to." So I love that, because no matter what, whether you're aware of it or not, your body is always keeping score of your self-talk, of your words, and it's holding that energy from within. So it's really important to become aware of your self-talk. And even if you're not aware of it, just start to imply those positive reinforcements, that positive language within yourself, and changing that environment within yourself. We really, as humans, have the opportunity to live in heaven every single day. And a huge part of this is by loving ourselves and talking to ourselves in a beautiful, compassionate, loving way. Instead of waking up and saying, "I'm so tired," or "I don't want to go to work," or "I don't want to work out," and all the negative things that we can say, I recently started saying is, I get to go on a walk. I get to work out today. My body gets to do this. And it instantly puts me in a state of gratitude for being able to go to a yoga class, go on a walk, have healthy legs that can get me out of bed and in the bathroom to brush my own teeth. We really don't realize how many beautiful miracles and luxuries there are in our lives every single day. And living in this state of gratitude is really going to puts me in a place of peace and sets me up for success mentally each day. This podcast is very new. So there's been days where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, what's going on? And I have to instantly reframe my mindset through my own self-talk and manifest this into existence. I know that's up to me. We are the creators. We are the artists of this story. And it all starts with our breath and our word. Every word you speak is an act of alchemy. You are literally transforming thoughts into sound, and that sound into energy, and that energy into something that's shaping the world around you, the physical world around you. This is why mantras, affirmations, and intentional speaking are some powerful practices that you can integrate into your everyday multiple times a day. I love doing this through the Zenful Note app and documenting my own mantras to myself and affirmations to myself. They create a new energetic field that magnetizes what you desire and literally brings you what you desire. If you set yourself on a certain frequency in this realm, and the word now is delulu. If you become delulu to living and breathing and absorbing that frequency, you are only going to attract things that are also on that frequency. For me, I'm really in this delulu phase of like, this podcast is huge. It has millions of followers. We are so successful. We are generating lots of revenue. We have lots of sponsors. And when I step into that every day, something amazing happens. So it's about embodying your highest self through the self-talk and through your words. Okay, I want you guys to try this with me. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Take another little sip. Exhale. Now say this out loud. My words create my reality. I choose words that reflect love, strength, and possibility. We're going to say it one more time. My words create my reality. I choose words that reflect love, strength, and possibility. Saying this every day will make you pause and set you up for beautiful words, which is just going to set you up for beautiful manifestations. We've talked a lot about self-talk, and I also want to touch on the importance of our words with others and how our words can affect others. When we come from a place of love, words can do amazing things for others. I used to be an elementary school teacher, and the smallest amount of positive reinforcement would take my students miles. They would hold on to compliments for days and remember these compliments for days. It changed them, right? And then I remember even a little bit of negative reinforcement would do so much damage. Our words can really, really affect how other people move in their everyday, to the point where it's almost a little bit scary. And that's why it's important to be really, really aware and careful with our words. I talk a lot and I am always explaining things and over explaining and over analyzing through my words. And I've learned recently, especially through writing these outlines for this podcast specifically, is I need to slow the fuck down with my speech and my words and take more time to create intentional breath rather than just blah, 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 and not really even know what I'm saying. Or I have this need or want to prove myself through my words. And the truth is less is more when it comes to words and being intentional. Words truly imprint on us. We may forget actions, but we rarely forget words that made us feel something profound, whether it was positive or negative. So let's really be more mindful moving forward. Let's bless people with our words. Let's tell our friends how much we love them. Remind our partners how much they inspire us, and speak to strangers with kindness. This has gotten me so far by speaking to strangers with kindness, because you never know who you're talking to, but B, when you are embracing somebody, you 110% of the time get that right back. Maybe not in that moment, but you will get love. You will be embraced back very shortly after. That's kind of how I call it, the boomerang effect, right? That's how the universe works. When we give, we get. So it's important to be intentional when we're giving, especially through our words, because we never know the weight that someone may be carrying and the power that our words have. If you want to work on intentional speaking, there's a couple questions that you can ask yourself before speaking, or even intentional thinking. I like to ask myself, is this true? Is this kind? Is it necessary? That's my biggest one. Is it necessary? Because I'm always talking, explaining. Is this explanation necessary? Is it going to be impactful for my listeners or my followers? And if not, then reframing it. So it starts with an awareness of your words and then a practice of reframing your words. Can you find a way to make your words a gift to yourself or to others rather than a burden? When we speak with love, love echoes right back to us. It's so beautiful what our words can manifest into the physical realm, into our realities. And we really, as a collective, can do a lot of healing or a lot of damage with our words. And it's important that we start to step into the healing box and the loving box with our words, and understanding that this isn't just a woo-woo energetic thing. This is based on science. It's based on vibrations. It's based on frequency. And we all have that power within ourselves. So using that power for good, not only for others, but to manifest your desires and your best life. Like, who doesn't want to live their best life? It starts with yourself. It starts with your inner talk. It starts with your words and what we're putting out there. So what words are you choosing today? What stories are you telling yourself? What spells are you casting out into your world, into the universe? I want you to start viewing your words like little seeds in your garden of life. And be intentional, know your power, and start to tend to your garden and to other people's as well. We only have so much time on this earth, and it's time that we manifest and bring all of our desires into our physical reality. Thanks, guys.